I was gonna lie and say I didn't know we were gonna talk about today, but I've known the past week, and that's diaries. I think diaries are extremely underrated. I don't think a diary has to be paper. It could be anything. It could be people, it could be your journal, it could be your music. Me personally, my diary is Apple Music. My playlists are exactly how I feel. They're very put the way I put them because it's like I want the picture to mean something. I want the title to mean something. The words I choose and the songs I choose are picked for a reason. They're picked for the sound, the nostalgia, the actual words that are said. It's all there for a reason, and it's to express how I feel. And that's the whole point of a diary. It's the art of being able to confide in something. I think that's very beautiful. In order to do that, it's even more beautiful when you can build a connection on that, whether that's with other people or yourself. Because think about it, you put your words on paper. You want to get deeper with yourself. You want to explore parts of yourself. You want to be able to, in a way, talk to yourself by being able to look back on it and being like, hey, I grew from that. And that's what I did. I had a plan. I had these emotions. I no longer feel that way, or I do feel that way. Let me look back on it. And if you do that with people, it's even more beautiful in my eyes because you're able to build that connection and not be scared of being vulnerable. Being vulnerable is very hard and it is very scary. It's very hard to be like, hey, here's everything wrong with me. Don't leave. Don't view me differently. And being viewed differently is, I think, what a lot of people are scared of, because there's a difference of being perceived versus seen. Being perceived, people can watch how you move. They can analyze and decide on their own why you did what you did, or why you act and why you think the way you do. But I think whenever it's acceptance by people, they can understand you and they can connect to you and relate to you on that note, and they can give you guidance. Sometimes you just need to vent. Sometimes you just want a perspective. For me, a lot of the times whenever I do rant to my friends, I want perspective. That's what helps me, because I know I could be wrong in the way I think, and I want to be clocked on that. I want to be told, hey, that wasn't the best option. And I think that builds trust with yourself and other people, depending on how they react. You can't control what someone does or how they react. There's a fly. Anyways, you can't control how people respond or how people act. You can't control any of that. But you trust that they won't do anything that will upset you. You trust that you're giving this information to them. It's in confidence. I think the reason we do this is because we want to find peace and solace. It's okay to be alone. Feel comfortable doing that, and I think you can't feel comfortable doing that. I was waiting for the dog to stop barking. I think you can't be comfortable being alone if you don't know yourself, because it's like sitting in a room with a stranger. And I think that's why a lot of the time people always want to go out, they always want to do something. They can't be alone, and it's because they don't really know themselves, or they don't really feel comfortable with themselves. They want to find that connection in other things rather than within themselves. But like I said, I think a diary is very beneficial, and I think they're very underrated, no matter what kind of diary it is, whether it's your person or, like I said, my Apple Music. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just something you can trust in, and it's something you can physically put your emotions on and into and express them, because whenever they're in your head, they're just in your head. Only you see, only you feel. Whenever they're on paper, or on paper or whatever, it's not that they're permanent, it's not that they're seen. Being able to see that is quite literally putting yourself out there. And there's a difference with being watched versus being seen. You can be perceived, but without acceptance, your image is literally imaginary. Acceptance is the reality of it. You can tell someone, show someone, whatever, and there's a difference between people seeing you a certain way because of how you act, and being seen for your intentions and your soul's like direct purposes of what you're doing and why you're doing it. It's giving you the option to accept what you deserve. And let me explain that. You're telling or you're showing yourself or other people what you don't want or what you do want. And you're kind of manifesting it in a way when you put something that you do want. It's, hey, I don't fuck with that. Other people, if they fuck with you, they're gonna be like, okay, let me not put you in that position. Let's say you're talking to a friend and they have another friend and they want to set you up with that friend. they won't set y'all up unless they have good intentions with you, because they know that side of you. That's just an example. But also with yourself, if you're able to accept those emotions and you're able to give back to yourself, you're able to see it and allow yourself to receive. Because I think a lot of the time, whenever we stay stuck in our head or we stay stuck within ourselves, we kind of shut down in a way to where we don't allow ourselves to accept things. We don't allow ourselves to be treated a certain way. We kind of lose self-respect. Not all of us, but we kind of lose something, which is what I've seen in the majority of people. A lot of times people will go through things and they'll tell someone about it years later and be like, dog, I didn't even know you were going through that. I could have helped you. You don't have to go through everything alone. With yourself, if you're putting that on paper or you're listening to your stuff, doing whatever, you also can give yourself the same treatment. Hey, I can help you. Hindsight, you can look back on it. And I think that's really nice to do. Like I said, I think diaries are extremely underrated. I don't care that I'm 24 and use my Apple Music as a diary. I think it's beautiful that I allow myself to be vulnerable, and that if I want to, I can hide or unhide that playlist, and people can listen and understand and connect with me. I don't know another word for it other than beautiful. I just think connection is very beautiful, and I've been called out for this many times. In order to put depth within yourself or depth within other people, it's just, I yearn for connection, and yearning is very good. And it's hard to yearn whenever we're at a point where it's considered like, oh, you want that? Sorry, this fly is still here. I feel like bullying now is a lot different. Now you get bullied for how you act versus how you look. Sometimes bullying is needed, I'm not gonna lie. But it's like, just like in that whole phase where a guy would be treating his girlfriend good and he'd be called a simp or whatever. He was bullied for treating his girlfriend good. So now men treat, like, not all men. Like I said, when I generalize things, it's not everything. But like, now people are scared to treat their girlfriend good. That's just an example. It's sad. It's sad. No matter who you're talking to, or if you're talking to yourself, you want that connection. Whether you know it or not, subconsciously you do. And trust your gut. You have to trust your gut when it comes to these things of what you put your trust in. Why write your feelings out and pour your heart out into something that it's going to be thrown back at you? I don't think crashing out is necessarily a bad thing. Controversial take. I think it's only a bad thing if it affects other people. I think crashing out on your own, in your own time, and then coming up with a solution and whatever is a lot more beneficial. And I think it allows you to express those emotions. It allows you to get it out the way, get it out your system, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone. As long as you're not doing it publicly, or even if you are doing it publicly, as long as it doesn't hurt anyone, you're doing it with people you trust so that they can't use it against you or anything like that. I think that's all I have to talk about. It's a very short video. I know it's a short video. I'm gonna try to make regular content. I know I've said that on multiple platforms, multiple times about different things. I'm actually trying, okay? And I know it's a short video. I think it's something I really wanted to talk about. And I think it's something that not a lot of people think about. And so hopefully this conversation gives you something to think about. Or if you know me and you're seeing this, it's a diary. This video is a diary. You get a little part of my brain and you can see that side of me, I guess. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to watching Love Island so that my friends can stop yelling at me to catch up, even though it's ended already. Bye.